Good morning, two heads up here. Welcome to another one of my scaling guides. This time we're going to do dark crabs. Dark crabs has been by far my favorite favorite way to fish. Ever since I got the Elite Wilderness Diary done, dark crabs are amazing, and they're even better now with the addition of Temperost and Spirit Flakes. So let's dive right into it to the requirements. In my dark crabs are by far the most AFK fishing method. It's good experience. It's not the best. It's not as good as Temperost, but it's very AFK. If you like watching movies or watching Twitch uh, while scaling, dark crabs is my favorite thing to do while doing that. So let's dive right into the gear setup. Um, and then we'll go into the requirements. So there's three core things for the gear setup that I recommend: Staff of the Dead, Serp Helm, and Dragonfire Shield. A good alternative is a Spectral Shield. You do get more magic resistance, but you do sacrifice Dragonfire immunity. You may want to bring a anti-dragon pot if you go with the Spectral Shield. Excuse me, but the Dragonfire Shield works just great. And then, um, so this is just, I'm just three iteming basically. I'm not bringing a +1, so even if I get smited, I lose nothing. Um, those are the three core defensive items that you need. Um, the other pieces of gear is really up to you. The Amulet of Defense gives 13, I believe it gives 13 magic. No, it gives a little bit of magic, but it gives 13 in everything else. Um, Mythical Cape is a great choice. Legends Cape, regular God Cape. You want a good balance. You want to prioritize magic defense, but you also want some decent, range and melee defense setups. Um, Fremnik boots are fine. Jester boots are great. They're just a pain in the butt to get again when you die. Yeah, the rest of the pieces are really just up to you. Um, if you want to sacrifice some magic defense, or if you do want to take a +1, I highly recommend swapping out the chaps for something like a Verax skirt. That way, even if you get smited, you lose a Verax skirt, but the Verax skirt will give you a ton of survivability. Um, but I'm not really too concerned about dying. All right, so that's the gear setup. Let's go over the requirements. So you need 85 fishing for dark crabs. The next thing, there's three things, so that's the first thing. The second thing is you need the Wilderness Elite done. Dark crabs aren't even worth fishing at all unless if you've got the Wilderness Elite done. And the final thing is one or two things. So, Spirit Flakes are amazing at dark crabs. I highly, highly, highly recommend farming up some Spirit Flakes at Temperos before doing dark crabs. If you don't want to do that, then I recommend getting the Rada's Blessing 4. Um, I think it's only a 10% proc rate, but yeah, if you're not going to go with the Spirit Flakes, it's definitely worth getting this blessing. Now, here's the thing. If you go for the Spirit Flakes, you don't need to really do the Kourend Elite Diary because it procs the Spirit... excuse me. The Spirit Flakes and the Blessing do not proc on top of each other. And the Spirit Flakes have a 50% proc rate. So it's just going to totally dominate your Blessing. I may only get 8 to 12 Rada's Blessing procs an hour of fishing. So that's how insignificant it is once you start using the Spirit Flakes. There's a couple more important things in the inventory here. Obviously, you need your lobster pot and your dark fishing bait. But two important things here are going to be a fun weapon. Any weapon that gives negative attack stats, because the axe hut is going to be your safe spot. And then a lock pit to get into the axe hut. The safe spot, once you're in there, you're golden. You just equip your fun weapon, make sure you're full health, and then you can X-log if you want. If they go in after you, you can X-log and you'll be fine. Um, we can go ahead and turn off our auto retaliate. One mistake I've made, and the only time I've died, was literally right at the beginning of my trip. So what I used to do was fish an inventory of dark crabs, cook 5 of them, and then that's my food along with my brew and superstore. The only time I died was I literally had just a brew for food. And I literally just walked in and then I got barraged. I didn't even have time to cook any dark crabs. So that's why I recommend bringing in some food. You can bring in 5 anglers or whatever you want. But alright, let's dive right into it. I'm just going to drink a stamina. You don't have to if you've got an explorer's ring. With the Staff of the Dead, it is actually a slash weapon. Excuse me. So you can slash the web with it. I don't really mind fishing with, if there's other people in the world, I don't mind fishing with other people. Alright. And so this is basically it. Your bank is going to be piles right here. He's going to note all your unnoted dark crabs. There's a certain camera angle you can set to where if you tilt your camera just right, doesn't matter how large or small your screen is, you can look at the gate here. And you can see the gate open. But let's go ahead and set up our quick prayers. You're going to want Protect from Magic, Augury, and Protect Item. That's what you want your protection prayers to be. Augury is huge here, and Augury is so cheap. So if you've got the prayer level, I would definitely go for it. So this is a pretty end game skilling thing that we're doing here, so would expect most of you to have this already. XP an hour at my fishing level is about 40k. I don't know what the guide says. I get almost always 40k an hour. In terms of fish, in terms of dark crabs, I get like 650 to 800 an hour, I believe. It really just depends on the spirit flake procs. And so, yeah, back to the door. So if you see the door open, you can log out. If you don't think you can log out in time, I highly recommend just activating your quick prayers. Because if they don't get a freeze on you, they're doomed. The PK is doomed. What clue is this? Another medium clue. Very nice. Okay. So, typically what most PKers actually are a little try hard here. So most PKers will bring an AGS, a Ballista, and Barrage. So what you want to do is, if you can't log out in time, if you do get attacked, you want to activate your quick prayers, and then you want to activate your special attack for your Staff of the Dead. And then make your way up to the Axe Hut. Sometimes they're so try hard that they'll have another person trying to spam the gate on the other side. So actually, yeah, the only time I died was either to a duo or one account with a teleblocker and a barrager. The teleblock doesn't really matter. But really, the best chance of anyone killing you is with a team and with one person on each side of the gate at least. But even then, once you get through the gate, you should have plenty of food to survive. Your Staff of Dead special attack lasts a whole minute, so you're not going to get specced out. And just make your way up to the Axe Hut. And once you're in, you're in. I mean, that's it. There's really nothing they can do, unless if they send a team of 6 people to clear out all the axes. And then it's really not worth it for them to do something like that. It'd be nice if I had a PKer to demonstrate this. What were the other things I wanted to talk about? In terms of the amount of bait and spirit flakes to bring in, if you are bringing in spirit flakes, bringing 300 to 400 of bait and spirit flakes is plenty. That will get you, gosh, I think it's over 800 crabs or whatever. It really just depends on how long you want to stay. Once you get comfortable, you may want to do around 800 to 1k crabs per trip. Oh, another thing I highly recommend. If you are AFKing, You want to mute your music and your ambient sounds and turn up your sound effects. That way you can hear a barrage. So if you're watching something else and all of a sudden you hear the barrage sound, all you gotta do is turn on your quick prayers, your Staff of the Dead special attack, and then just make your way up to the axe hut. Um, what else? Also, Jagex added a new feature. Let's see if I can find it here. PK skull prevention. Excuse me. So, I go ahead and I hide my attack player options just in case, but also click the PK skull prevention. That way you have zero chance of accidentally skulling. Um, there's literally no point in fighting back when you've just got a melee weapon, so don't even worry about it. It's always going to be bait. So I would disable both your player attack and your PK. I would check the PK skull prevention thing. Alright, so I will go ahead. I guess there's really nothing else to go over here. I guess scouts. The So PKers, I think the two most common places they'll use scouts is they'll have an alt ranging hellhounds, or meleeing them down here. Usually it's the rangers up here that are scouts. So if you do see someone ranging hellhounds, man, geez, you want to go ahead and swap worlds. Obviously keep your private on off for friends. Yeah, so I rarely get attacked here, but when I do, they're very sweaty. They're very tryhard. They want the kill. So they bring everything. Like I said, they bring AGS, Staff of the Dead, and Ballista. Alright, so let's go ahead and demonstrate what you do. So if you get attacked, just go ahead and oh, come on. Turn on your quick prayers. You might get frozen like right there. And then you might get frozen again here, right? Somewhere in between here and here. And then you just pick lock. You can actually, if let's say you get frozen right here, you can actually pick lock the door from here. And even if you're frozen, you can still go in. And then all you do is equip your fun weapon and attack the axe. So as soon as they see you equip that fun weapon, I've never had anyone go in after me once you equip that fun weapon. And that's about it. Usually they just give up. And yeah. Sorry for going a little bit over. I wanted to try and get everything here. If you've got the requirements for this, I highly recommend, and you're not max fishing, I highly recommend it just because it's so AFK. If you don't feel like clicking absolutely anything and you just want to watch movies or whatever, yeah, dark crabs are amazing, especially since you've put in all the time and the effort completing the diary, getting the skills and all the rest. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Alright, this has been 2 Heads Up. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Like I said, I always like to keep them ad free, so feel free to comment or like or whatever you want to do. And I will catch you all in the next one. Take care.